Welcome, lords and ladies, kings and queens, my noble court, to the Cosmic Archive, a living legendarium of a million worlds. I am Lord Master Leonis, your humble scribe and archivist, and curator of this fine establishment. Today, we have a brand new Lady Wasabi LouieVerse video. This one is called Under the Stars, A Promise Across the Universe. And it is a character backstory video similar to Rui of the North. I noticed when I went looking for this that she also has another really short one for like a cyberpunk cat girls wrestling show she's doing, like a concept trailer. I didn't know that happened, and I feel a little bad, I'm not gonna lie. When did that come out? I'm gonna have to do a brief react to that at some point too. Today's recording session will basically be this video and then the last of the 3 Penguin CJP videos. This one, I've been told is not going to be as animated story as the other 2. It's just a song called We Don't Care, written by Fun with Phoenix, so we're going to look into that in the next one. But for this one, I'm a little concerned because I did tab over this and it's over 7 minutes long. And knowing myself and how into the nitty-gritty I get with these things, we are going to be here for a minute. But let's get into it, shall we? We'll do a minimal react and we'll do a maximal react. And if you're on YouTube, you will not be receiving the minimal react because YouTube does not like unpaused reacts. So for this one, if you're on YouTube, you're just going to be getting my maximal react after the minimal react is over. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm always excited to see a new LouieVerse video. I know what you make is good, Lady Wasabi. Let's see what we got.
Don't mind those kids.
And now the CC works loverly. Although the CC does get lyrics wrong sometimes, so it is what it is. Alright, I don't even know what to say, man. This is technically not an unpaused react anymore, but we're gonna go through the rest of it as an unpaused react. So if it's not me rambling at the start, it's some kind of scuff when I start the thing. It's always something. There's always a chunk before I get into the react. Damn it, Wasabi. I think I cry at every other video you make. I am a wee bit confused because the way that looked made it look like the guy gets swallowed up by the red veil and the woman does not. But also this is very clearly about someone you lost, so it makes sense that we don't see where they go. So based on the words at the end there, I'm going to take a guess that this story is not a story about 2 random kids who grew up and went to space together. This story is a sort of grander fantasization of the relationship between Lady Wasabi and, I'm guessing, her late husband. I don't actually know anything about who she had her daughter with, but I would assume it was someone she loved. Man, this one is really killing me, like, actually. I teared up at the geisha general lady too. But this one's different. It feels a lot more personal to her. This story is so sad, bro. You build up all of that wholesome and then dash it. Man, it hurts a lot more once you get attached to the story that happens before. Most of the video is about them growing up together, about them going through things together, joining the space program together, going out into space, into the space station together, and then like so little, but that's all it takes to destroy the beautiful thing that got built and rip it apart. And then the piece that's left still finds a way to build and teach and create. Damn it, Wasabi, I don't think you've ever got me this good before. Damn, I like to present myself as sort of like the impartial observer looking from outside but never really being part of the story. That story really stabbed deep. In case I do cut most of what just happened, Wasabi, I want you to know that this one stabbed me in the heart enough that I've probably been sitting here for about 3 to 5 minutes just trying to choke down my emotions so I could talk about it. How do you do this? I haven't even gone through any of this. You went through it, and then you created something about the thing you went through. How do you not break down? I don't know, man. It's just really, really sad. Man, the strength you must carry to carry that burden. I thought it was gone, and then I start talking and it come back up. Brother, I need to tell a popcorn for these videos. You're starting to make like whole ass movies out of them. All right. I wanted my between the views bit to be a bit more profound and sound a bit more professional, but I think I'm gonna have to live with what that is for now. I don't want to be recording forever. So short version, the vast majority of this video is very lovely, very wholesome, very lovey-dovey and cute. And then it's like one gut punching blow, and then it shows how how she handled that blow afterwards. Damn it. I still don't know that I'm ready to maximal react yet. Holy shit, Wasabi, you f***ed me up with this one. I don't even know why. I've never really had a significant other. Like, maybe that is why. I don't know. Well, we're gonna attempt. I can't be here all day, so we're going to attempt the maximal react. I'm gonna try to pay more attention to the lyrics in this one as well. I didn't really pay attention to the lyrics as much watching it through the first time. I mean, obviously, I heard some of them. I heard the chorus, the under the stars, the, you know, if the stars can hold us both, you know, all that stuff. All right, let's go into it.
Don't mind those kids. I promise you will see the stars up close one day. Come on, I'll take you home.
I am genuinely curious, is the design of the little girl and the little boy, as well as the design of the two of them when they're adults, are these based off of you and your significant other? I suppose that might be a bit imprudent to ask, because the only reason I ask is she doesn't look like Lady Wasabi's avatar as much. I mean, she definitely has similarities. She has the long dark hair and the similar face shape and eyes.
We stayed out past the last train.
Okay, that's crazy to me. I'm going to have to cut back to when I watched this a minute ago before all the attempt to stop crying. That is not what the CC said when we watched it the first time. In the time it's taken for us to watch the first one, for me to go through my emotional down pushing, and then to get here, the CCs have changed. And now it says it right. We stayed out past the last train. Because I remember thinking when I looked at this before, I was like, I'm hearing it and I'm watching these, and I'm going, wait a minute, that can't be right. It probably says we stayed out past the last train.
You said the sky looked close tonight. I said one day we'll touch it. You smiled and said we already are.
That's such an interesting concept. You said the sky looked close tonight. I said one day we'll reach out and touch it. You said we already are. I guess I'm not 100% sure what that statement's supposed to mean. I wonder if that might be like a Japanese sentiment that doesn't translate entirely to English. I'm not sure. Like, I wonder if it's similar to the whole, like, the moon is beautiful thing, which, like, in America, we wouldn't do that. We'd just be like, you're beautiful. We wouldn't do this whole, like, back and forth about something else. But anyway, I'm not sure the meaning behind it. I mean, it sounds like cutesy lovey-dovey talk. I mean, obviously, but I'm just kind of curious what the sentiment behind it is. It sounds like it's a very kind of one of those roundabout sentiments a little bit. I like the bike riding because I also used to ride bikes all the time when I was a kid. And I'm pretty sure I would have fallen over and half killed myself if I tried this.
In my darkness,
That one looks good.
You
said that yesterday.
I know. They are so squishy.
You say that every time we pass here.
Does the B have a meaning? I'm curious. Is that like was that like a popular plushie when you were younger or something?
I know.
Wherever you are, under the stars, every light still knows your name. It crosses all the
pretty.
dark between us and it finds me
Like you.
just the same.
Let me see. Under the stars, every light still knows your name. Crosses the dark between us and finds me all the same. I think this one's going to be rougher for me because I don't think I've ever had that, like, that feeling of, like, this is the one I want to share my life with before. So I think it's possible. I have a desire to find that, but I haven't yet. So at the risk of sounding like a bit of a not so sentimental douche, I don't really know what that feels like. And there's a bit of this where I'm kind of, this is very cute, this is very wholesome, this is like, but there is a part of me that's just kind of like turning its nose up and going, ugh, mushy stuff. But at the same time, this is like, we're establishing how much they love each other, and this is very important not only to the video and the story, but clearly very important to Wasabi herself.
You knew the shade.
Do you think we'll always come here?
Every
Probably.
side.
Then tomorrow too?
I can see why the CCs maybe just didn't play at first, because now we're getting CCs for what they're saying to each other in the video, but I'm not getting CCs for the lyrics. So I am finding it a little bit troublesome to hear what all the lyrics are saying. I'm trying to catch them, but I'm not catching all of them.
Before I ever made a sound, you turned my fear.
Will you miss me when I'll be in space?
Not really, because I'll be with you in space.
You will join the program?
Yeah.
You turned my fear into a window and let the whole sky in. You know, I think I just figured out why they stabbed me in the heart so bad. I think I figured it out. These two are spending all this time wanting to go to space, wanting to do space exploration and whatnot. That, like science fiction, space, and all of that is a subject that was near and dear to my heart for a long time in my childhood. I'd say it's not as near and dear to my heart now. Nowadays, I would think of it as more of a, this is something I would write stories about science fiction. But there was a time as a kid where I was like, I would want to go to space. I would want to actually accomplish the goal of going and being part of a space program. That didn't pan out for me, but maybe that's why it struck so close to home.
In my darkness, I can
What is this device? I recognize this, but I don't remember what it's called or what it does.
see my star, guiding me home from wherever you are. Under the stars, every light,
Oh, I did not catch what was going on here before.
wherever you are.
Okay, this isn't him swimming. He's training to hold his breath in the event that he loses oxygen. So in space, when you lose oxygen, or like if you're exposed in any way to the vacuum of space, all of the air in your lungs will be sucked out of you. And so you have to train yourself to, in that worst case scenario, give yourself a minute or so to try to fix whatever's happening. If your oxygen line gets cut and you only have X amount of oxygen, you have to train yourself to be conservative with how you use your oxygen to survive as long as possible, as well as how to hold your breath to survive when the oxygen runs out. Like this is a big part of astronaut training. You have to hold your breath. And if I recall correctly, record is something like 3.5 minutes, roughly around there. I don't know for sure, but like that is the maximum amount of time you have before your body will automatically attempt to suck in more oxygen. And when it's not there, it will just pass out. So that's what he's doing here, is he's training himself to operate without oxygen.
Under the stars, every light still knows your name. It crosses all the dark.
You know, this specific shot I think is interesting because when you see this in like all the, like, if you ever watch like romance manga or romance anime and read romance manga, which I did for a little while, this is always depicted as like such a big deal moment. And of course, that's because they're in high school and they're children and they're being children. You know, it's always like such a big deal moment to have someone feed you like this. But this gives the impression that the two of them have been with each other, known each other, loved each other, been comfortable with each other so long that this is just another Tuesday. And it's just pretty normal. Like to him, this is just him helping her to not have to stop what she's doing, but also be able to eat. And to her, this is just her getting some food while she's working on her work.
The dark between us and it finds me.
The important part about all that, by the way, is that they are so close and comfortable with each other to the point that neither of them, like both of them understands what's going on and neither of them has any reason to believe the other has any ulterior motive. Like they're just completely 100% raw and real with each other.
Just the same. If the sky can hold us both, though we are worlds apart, then one day they'll lead me back.
This is really cute, except she has a third arm. God damn it. There's a part of me that's kind of a little happy to see this though, because sometimes I'll be generating something in AI and I'll be like, why can't I get this to not give me this problem? And then I'll watch something like this, which is from somebody who's like a huge, big deal, big name in the AI animation community. And I'll be like, well, if she can't get the animation to work with her sometimes, then it's really not my fault. It's, you know, if Crybrows and Lady Wasabi can't always get the AI to work with them in the way they want, then it's really not on me that sometimes it just doesn't function the way I want it to. And so in a way, this is kind of inspiring in knowing that like even at the top levels of creation for this type of content, these issues still persist. And so I can like be comfortable with letting myself feel like it's not really my fault. And I think for everyone else the same. If you're making stuff and you get some jank like this, it's not your fault. Sometimes the AI just doesn't work the way you want it to. Now this whole sequence is so effing cute, like honestly. Like, they just go on this whole space adventure, alternate dimension adventure thing. And it's so cute. And then
You told me light takes time to cross the sky this
at the
wide,
very end of it,
this far. So maybe every night I see
that is like, I'm gonna be 100% real with you. Like, that is probably the coolest proposal I've ever seen. Like, how the do you top that? Like, how? That is such a dope proposal. Like, it is both the beautiful romantic thing and also the super cool thing all at the same time. Like, how do you beat that, man? Like, this is like the perfect fucking proposal. And I'm gonna go back to hear the words.
You told me light takes time to cross a sky this wide, a world this far. So maybe
Light takes time to cross a sky this wide, a world this far.
every night I see you, your light is finding where I am.
So maybe every night I see you, your light is finding where I am. See, if I had paid a little more close attention to the lyrics here, I would have known even more where this was going. Because we're seeing all of this. There's no reason his light needs to go all that far to find her. They're together all the time. So I think these lyrics are being sung by the older version of her in the future as she is remembering all of these things. Because this line right here makes me think that the concept or the idea behind this line, the light has to travel so, like, the light travels so far over a sky so wide. This makes me think that the night she has dreams about him, or like imagines him in her mind, sees him, for a lack of better term, she's remembering him. So the nights where that is happening, the romantic emotional translation of that is, like you once told me, light takes time to travel. I think wherever you are in heaven, supposedly, that's a really bad way to say that. Assumably in heaven, my guess is that's heaven or some version of the afterlife, like good afterlife. I don't actually know what Wasabi believes in, and I'm not trying to make assumptions. That being said, like, that is such a romantic thought of the light from there takes time to travel to me, but when I see you, that's when the light reaches me. And I'm seeing your light from where you are now, presently, when it reaches me, however long that distance is that the light had to travel to get to me. That is a very cute, very romantic concept.
Under the stars, every
Also, I love this planetarium design. See, earlier I was like, is this inside the spaceship? I would have known better if I had paid attention to the sign above the door. They're in a planetarium right now, which I think is funny, because there's not a single planet in the planetarium.
light still knows your name. It crosses all the dark between us, and it finds me just the same.
Yeah, so this is interesting. I noticed that some of the purpley pinkish colors is all over the clouds here. This moves so fast. I've watched a few space shuttle launches. I'm relatively certain that they don't launch this fast. They're significantly slower in real life, but this seems so fast. Which, now that I think about it, it might be that fast, because if you go to the AI and you say, hey, I need you to generate me a 15-second, and I need to go from point A to point B in that 15 seconds, the AI is going to make it move as fast as it needs to do that, even if it's not realistic to what the real-life model equivalent would do. See, I like this too, because like most of the time when they're in this planetarium, we see like the galaxy reflected on the floor here. But here we get like a down at the floor level, we get to see that like there's actually a floor here and something's being projected onto it.
Every light still knows your name. It crosses all the dark between us, and it finds me just the same.
Every light under the stars, every light still knows your name. It crosses all the dark between us and it finds me just the same. Yeah, I wonder if that, in the world this story is taking place, the two of them go up together and she comes back alone. Obviously, what happened would probably be a newsworthy event. So I wonder if there's like some kind of memorial to him, in which case it would make sense saying that like under the stars every light still knows your name, because you're not forgotten one, because within the realm of the space program or whatever, your name probably never fully goes away because you're one of the ones who died in space.
If the sky can hold us both, though we are worlds apart, then one day they'll lead me back into your arms.
Yeah. The more I'm listening to this pre-event, the more I'm realizing all the words in this song were leading the entire time up to what's going to happen at the end of it. It's led this whole time. It's telling you before what happened, before the climax, it's telling you what the climax is going to be. This is definitely being sung by her after the fact in remembrance of what was before.
In my darkness, I can see my star.
You gotta take a moment though to could you imagine you're married to this person, you are husband and wife, and you get to go up into space and you get to see the Great Blue Marble together. This fictional man has gotten the most perfectly romantic opportunity to exist that ever has been. Honestly, I cannot imagine a more fundamentally awe-inspiring romantic journey. Assuming that this journey went as planned and he didn't, unfortunately, perish in the stars, I don't think anyone would ever have a hope or prayer of breaking these two apart. Ever. I think that would have, something like this would cement you so closely to one another that there would be no way to rip you apart, save basically what happens. I just realized that I'm making reference to all of this, and for the people who are watching on YouTube, you haven't actually seen what happens yet. So I'm kind of spoiling it a little bit for you, but this entire video has been leading up to the climax event of what occurs, and I pretty much spoiled it already, which is, he does not make it back. But this whole build up of the romantic relationship between the two of them, I'm just thinking realistically, if I ended up with a significant other, and I got to go to space with them, no one will ever be the one I went to space with. No one else is ever gonna fill those shoes. The likelihood is so mind-bogglingly slim. It really does kind of make clear how close the two of them probably were, and how painful that tear would have had to be.
Guiding me home.
Now, see, I'm not sure if we see, because I'm relatively certain before this, we don't actually see what's going on with that tube there. I'm not sure. Because we see the tubes down here. This tube. I don't know if that's the same tube. I'll keep a look at it though. But we see his tube flailing. This looks like it could be. So that tube did move when the explosion initially happens. No, it can't be, because now this is flying up over here and that tube was down over here before. But where does that tube connect? Oh, it is that tube. Okay, so then it got disconnected from wherever it hit here. So I don't know what exactly is going on here, but I'm guessing, as I'm looking at this, it looks like these tubes are supposed to connect, they interconnect here and loop around. And maybe the idea is that this tube's supposed to connect here to his oxygen tank. And this is now, whatever oxygen is inbound from the tube, that's all he's got left, because there's nothing connecting to his oxygen tank anymore. What am I tapping? So I'm not 100% sure, but my guess is he's not just getting thrown away from her, but his oxygen is rapidly depleting as well.
I know you will go to space one day.
I got two tubes flying around over here. I don't know what's going on with that. This tube turns into a white tube halfway through now. That's just AI jank, I'm sure, but... I had this thought to myself when I saw this in the initial watch through. I gotta push some emotion down now. He comes to the realization that no act he can take will prevent his death.
All the dark between us and it finds me.
And that's why he smiles. Because the last thing he sees before he's gone forever is the face of the one he loves.
Just the same. If the
I love
sky
you.
can hold us both, though we are worlds apart, then one day they'll lead me back into your arms.
He obviously doesn't feel that way though. Now this is interesting to me here from a more storyline perspective. We're gonna shove the romantic to the side for a moment. We're gonna talk about sci-fi. Can't cry about sci-fi. Can't cry about sci-fi, Leo. You love sci-fi. Anyway, this is an interesting thing because she specifically says that this is a Red Veil character backstory music video. And what I wonder, because we don't see anything happen with the woman in this story, so I'm still curious if the woman in this story is supposed to be Lady Wasabi's character within the Red Veil. But this man, I would say this is the one part of the video that looks like it crosses with the Red Veil. Everything else about this is a story about a boy and a girl who grow up, fall in love, get married, grow up, fall in love, join the space program, get married, and then go to space together. And the rest of this video is how the woman who lost the one she loved in space moves forward with her life afterwards. But this moment leads me to believe that at the last possible second, he falls into a rift and is pulled into the Red Veil. The Red Veil is a place where you have oxygen and the ability to breathe. So the likelihood is, if that is what occurred within the boundary of this story, he's not actually dead. He has survived, and he may or may not have a means of returning. But we have no idea what happens to him after he crosses that threshold because we never go back to see what's going on with him. I was wondering if there's going to be like after the song and everything, we get to see like a flash of what's going on with him in the Red Veil. I did not clock that this is a story coming from Lady Wasabi's heart about the loss of her significant other. I didn't clock that. I've never really thought about it because she talks so much about her daughter. I've never like directly thought about who she was with when she had the daughter or why he's not around anymore. Never was something I wanted to broach as a subject because I know romance and possible separatings or divorces or even the death of a loved one can be a really, really touchy subject. And she's very open about her pain about losing her daughter, but I don't think I've ever heard her mention the loss of her significant other. So I just kind of thought she didn't want to talk about it, so I've never brought it up. But because of that, I wasn't really thinking that this was a story that was like a one-to-one, or well, maybe not a perfect one-to-one, but I didn't think it was a story that was based on her own experience. So now that I know that from the quote at the end, or the little blurb at the end, I now think that for sake of this story, she probably never gets to find him, because that would kind of break the reality of losing someone like that. Like maybe he makes it to the Red Veil and maybe something happens to him while he's in the Red Veil. By the time she gets there, if this is Lady Wasabi's self-insert character in the Red Veil, by the time she gets there, he's not there for her to find anymore, would be my guess. But like I said before, this seems like the only real cross into the Red Veil that we see for the entire video. Could you imagine being this person? You are coming home to the rest of the world. Most likely this, based on how everyone is lined up here and the fact that they're clapping and you got cameras and people with these papers, like I would guess that the media has spun this as like, while there's the tragedy that we lost one of our astronauts, whatever was the intention of this mission into space clearly got done. It's considered a success. People are looking to her as a hero. I just noticed she has the white hair here. I don't think Wasabi's character has the white hair streak though. Can you imagine you come home from this mission, everyone's lauding you as a hero, everyone's talking about what a success it was. All you can feel is pain.
You told me life takes time to cross a sky this wide, a world this far. So maybe every night I see you, your light is finding where I am.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that. Look, so long, so many of these. There is no grave because there is no body. She just puts flowers on a hill. Man, Wasabi, how'd you give me this up twice in the same video? She just puts flowers on a hill because there's nothing else she could fucking do. There is no grave because there is no body.
I am under the stars.
Now I'm curious what's happening here, though. This looks very similar to what we saw before. This looks very similar to what we saw before, where she was coming out of the truck or the whatever it was as she came home from space. And you had the media lined up like this. I'm curious because it seems like time has passed now, and I'm not sure what she's doing here. Is she maybe now sort of a director or being promoted to a directorate position? Something. The media is clearly here and clearly recording her, or this could also just be like her own imagination, her own dark remembrance of what once occurred.
Every light still knows your name. It crosses all the dark between us and it finds me just the same.
By the way, Wasabi, I'm not trying to ignore your lyrics. It's just really hard to say them without crying. Because we see her here now, she's teaching kids. I don't know if the insinuation with this kid is that it's hers, but we see that she is teaching children. And maybe she's running a field trip here or something. I'll just let that image be what it is. I suppose this must be her making a speech. We've seen her teaching kids. I'm guessing that she, after the events in space, and this makes a lot of sense from an interior storytelling perspective, is this person is probably now an expert on things in a way other people wouldn't be able to be an expert on things. So there would be a degree of desire to hear what they have to say. She would probably, even if you had a bad time in space like she did, you probably still end up in a scenario where people want to hear your story, hear your opinions, hear what you have expertise on. And pretty much anyone who's been an astronaut has had some level of small time to big time fame afterward. Not all of them became like super famous, like Armstrong, for example, but there are plenty who became famous within a community, within like the space exploration niche interest community, for sure. But yeah, I can see this makes sense. You know, you trained hard, you went through a lot of stuff, you went out into space. You're probably, based on some of the things we saw them doing beforehand with all of the designs and whatnot, they're probably part of a program to create, repair, or improve machines existent in space technology. And so they're not just random astronauts. They're also astronauts that went up there to do some degree of engineering or something, which would lead me to believe that they probably have, she probably has an expertise on mechanics in space that most people don't. And so that would lead to having talks like this, like sort of stage TED Talk type things. Now, here's what I think is interesting here. I'm going to point this out because there's a point to it. Like, this is, as much as this is Lady Wasabi telling the story of losing her loved one, this is also a story of the Red Veil. In the Geisha Samurai video, when Rui of the North flees her kingdom and goes to the middle of nowhere, she meets Crybrows. Within the universe of the Red Veil, Crybrows is both a commander of a defense unit for the Red Veil City, and also someone who actively goes out into other universes to find the heroes who have been lost and bring them to the Red Veil. And he's present here to give her award. So the same man who led Rui to the gate, the Red Gate, that puts her in the Red Veil, is now here talking to her. So there could be an insinuation that sometime in the not too distant future, she then goes to the Red Veil, which is why I'm wondering if she might be Lady Wasabi's self-insert character. Hold the f*** up. Is that the holy ball? Did you put the holy ball as the figurine? Lady Wasabi. You have ripped me completely out of the emotional thing now. I am now so flabbergasted. What even is this award? I have to ask now, what award has the holy ball on it? I'm curious if it has the acronym on the award from the acronym song. Okay, I'm sorry. Good Lord, that is 100% the holy ball.
One day to lead me back into your arms. In my darkness, I can see.
See, I am curious now because we see here, I think the idea of her hair growing old like that, or sorry, her hair getting gray like that, is she grows old in the time period after her loss. Like, she has grown older now.
My star.
And she still looks up to the stars and sees all of this stuff. But if she is Lady Wasabi's self-insert character, something must happen between now and all the stuff we see her in the Red Veil, because she's not old like that in the Red Veil. Now, if she's not Lady Wasabi's self-insert character, which is also a distinct possibility, then this is just another character within the universe, and we will see the exploits of her husband at a later time. And she grows old and dies in this world, and then her husband has some things he does in Red Veil, I would assume. Because this specifies as a character backstory video. It's probably explained down here, and I'll read it here. It does say it's a story of Ellie and Jay. So these are not, I don't know if Ellie, I'm going to assume Ellie is not the self-insert character. So I haven't read the description. I did that on purpose, by the way, because I'm trying to like make connections and link things here. And then when we're done listening to this, I'm going to read the description and find out how close I am.
Guiding me home under the stars.
Obviously, Pooh Bear must have been her pet name for him. Okay, remember the holy ball, Leo. You'll come right back out of it. Hey guys, I hope you'll like this next video I made. This one is a little different as we explore the different universes in the LouieVerse where our heroes come from. Under the Stars is a cinematic music video that tells the story of Ellie and Jay, childhood sweethearts and astronauts who reach the stars. For this universe, I also explored a different animation style from my usual work to give Ellie and Jay's story its own visual identity. Red Veil Origins will be a series exploring the backstories of the characters in the Red Veil. I won't say too much here because I don't want to spoil anything, but I hope you will watch until the end. This video has many personal things about Louie in it, so it holds a special place in my heart. Just like every video I make for her and share with you guys, my hope is to bring a little light to you through these stories as we continue building the world of Red Veil together. So now I'm wondering if the bee was something Louie really liked. Thank you so much for supporting me and being with me on this journey. I appreciate every one of you, and I am always grateful for your comments and support. For everyone who has loved someone so deeply that time, distance, and even the universe could not make that love smaller. Just remember the holy ball, Leo. You'll snap right out of it. It works every time. It works. I'm sorry, Holy Ball. I don't know if you'll ever watch this video, but you're my thing to pull me out of the emotional zone. In Red Veil, broken heroes find a place between worlds. This chapter looks upwards towards stars, memory, and toward the people we carry with us no matter how far away they are. If there is someone you love who feels far away, I hope this reminds you that love does not end where distance begins. Keep loving and keep remembering and keep reaching for the light. There are not many cameos in this one since it's a backstory, but special participation and special thanks to Crybrows, yep, and the Holy Ball, because I was right. For Louie, I love you always and forever beyond space, time, and distance. To God be the glory now and forever. Okay, so it is heaven. I wasn't sure if that was a thing for her, but it sounds like she is definitely Christian. The entire video was made by me using AI, made using Seedance 2 and 2.5 through @HiggsField AI and @RunwayML, and some scenes through Grok AI. Song made through Suno and edited through CapCut Official. I wonder what that is. Or that's a person, it looks like, maybe? Or is that a company? Yeah. Okay, so it's an AI editing. So now I'm curious. Now I'm really wondering. Now it says for my Pooh Bear. Is this another dedication to Louie? Because I thought this was a dedication maybe to her significant other, and perhaps I got that completely incorrect. This might be another dedication to Louie. I've never actually heard her talk about the significant other she had Louie with, so I don't know who that is or how deeply she loved that person. I assume it was positive and loving. That does not mean I am correct. It could very much have been a bad situation, and I would have no way of knowing. And I absolutely don't bring it up in a desire to cause pain, so I will leave it there. If Lady Wasabi sees this react, she can choose to tell me or not tell me. But I thought it felt very, since it's very clear this is a romantic story between a boy and a girl, a man and a woman, I thought that the romance it was referring to was Wasabi's romance. But I suppose by the same token, it could be representative of Louie's romance with someone, which we just don't know about, because I think Louie was college age when she was unfortunately game ended. So I'm curious. Also, I'm curious who these characters are, Ellie and Jay. Have we actually seen either of these characters in your previous works? Because I don't know that I have. I don't recognize either of them, unless maybe Jay is one of the many like guys with like body parts missing that got like a steampunk or a cyberpunk body part replacement. There's been a lot of those, and we just didn't know who he was. Distinct possibility. But anyway, I've been recording for about an hour and 15 minutes, and I spent the latter half of this recording, I have probably more than the latter half. I spent most of this recording trying really hard to just shove my emotions down so I can actually make a coherent reaction. Once again, Lady Wasabi, you 100% put me in awe of your ability to pull emotion out of your heart, throw it onto a canvas, and make everyone who sees it feel it with you. That is such an amazing talent you have. I don't know that I've known too many people in my life capable of something similar. So it's always amazing to watch a master at work, to experience that, the art created by that. And I would say if anyone has any argument that AI cannot portray emotion, I would just suggest you watch Lady Wasabi's videos, because you're wrong. I'm sorry. Like Lady Wasabi destroys that argument. Just destroys it. There's no way to, even if you watch any of her videos, there's just no way you could possibly argue that AI is a completely soulless tool. It's not possible that anything made with AI is soulless. You're refuted by the mere existence of the LouieVerse. So that's pretty much everything I have to say about that. So till next time, my curious scholars, bye-bye, and try not to cry.